Lendlela esihambayo oh hinde lendlela esihambayo oh hinde lendlela esihambayo oh hinde lendlela amandla awethu. Thank you very much, comrades. National Chairperson, Comrade Balega Mbete, Deputy President, Comrade Khalima Montlante, ANC officials, and members of the National Executive Committee of the ANC, our alliance partners, and other representatives of the mass democratic movement, representatives of fraternal parties in Africa and the world, members of the diplomatic corps, and other observers who are with us today, traditional leaders and religious leaders, families of the former presidents of the ANC who are with us here, our veterans of the struggle, comrade delegates, comrades and friends. Comrade Chairperson, it is a great pleasure to welcome all delegates to this 53rd National Conference of the African National Congress, taking place at the birthplace of the ANC, Mangaung. Present here are 4,500 delegates representing thousands of branches located across the length and breadth of our country. The ANC has grown phenomenally since the last 3 conferences. In 2002, at the Stellenbosch Conference, the membership stood at 416,846. In 2007, at the 52nd National Conference in Polokwane, the total membership was at 621,237 members. It has now grown to 1,220,056. These are audited members in good standing, thus meeting the directive of the 1942 conference that the ANC should have 1 million members. And when we say audited, in other words, there is no member who has not paid his dues. If we say they are in good standing, there might be a lot that forgot to renew their cards or so. The ANC remains very popular with the masses of our people, not only to vote for it, but join it as members. We may be the only organization that is growing all the time. not just by few members, but many. Today, the 16th of December, is the day on which the ANC launched the People's Army Umkhonto weSizwe in 1961. In the free and democratic South Africa, we mark the 16th as the National Day of Reconciliation, a day of promoting unity, social cohesion, forgiveness, and a non-racial society. We salute all generations of MK, many of whom sacrificed their youth for the struggle for our liberation. We pay tribute, in particular, to Isitwalandwe, President Nelson Mandela, the first Commander-in-Chief of MK, who is currently hospitalized in Pretoria. He is receiving good care from a competent and caring medical team. We wish him and the family were all the best during this time. Comrades, we are coming to the end of our exciting centenary program. The Polokwane Conference mandated us to mobilize the vast majority of our people to take part fully in the ANC centenary celebrations. Working together with all structures, we carried out this mandate with great pride. We are proud to report to this conference that the centenary celebrations were a great success. They have left an indelible mark in the memories of the vast majority of our people here at home and abroad. The most important achievement of these celebrations was the realization of just how much the ANC is deeply rooted amongst the people of South Africa and what it means to them. These celebrations revealed to us that the ANC remains the only hope for the poor and marginalized. We saw those who were disillusioned becoming reinvigorated, re-energized, and reaffirming their support and pledging their participation in the ANC's cause for fundamental social transformation. We discovered that the ANC is way bigger than its membership figures. It is actually loved by many more people who stand for progressive change. We are truly proud of our movement. We meet, comrades, 5 years after that watershed conference in Polokwane. This 53rd conference is of great significance, occurring as it does at the beginning of the decisive second phase of our long transition from colonialism of a special type to national democratic society. The theme of conference, which is Unity in Action Towards Socio-Economic Freedom, launched us to press ahead with the task of radically transforming our society. Today, we reflect on the road traveled since 2007 in both organizational work and that of the ANC in government. The Polokwane Conference was unique in its own way. It reaffirmed the ANC as a strategic center of power to provide leadership to the state and society as a whole. In this context, one of the most tangible achievements was the reaffirmation that power lies with branches. Thus, emphasizing as well the need to capacitate the branches with resources so that they can function optimally. Polokwane also reaffirmed the Freedom Charter as a strategic document and charted the way forward for us to change the ANC and its government for the better. The road to Polokwane was full of divisions and turbulence. It was necessary, therefore, that we begin healing the organization and working for unity immediately after the conference. The leadership of the ANC crisscrossed the country, speaking to and working with structures of the movement. Some successes were made, while some provinces and regions still face pockets of factionalism and divisions. The renewal includes rebuilding ANC branches, the basic units of our movement. We need to ensure that branches are genuine and have genuine members. This means that our audit and verification of membership procedures should be improved so that only branches in good standing determine the policy and leadership direction of the organization. In some instances, some branches contain members who belong to other members. Other alien tendencies to be eliminated from the movement as part of renewal is the negative lobbying for positions, which includes smear campaigns in the media, as well as gossip and rumor mongering. About one another. Also common are the disrespectful public spats, as well as hurling insults at other comrades or members of the public, thereby bringing the ANC into disrepute. More seriously, we have experienced the shocking occurrences where armed comrades disrupt ANC meetings. This then raises the question, what exactly could be so much at stake that people would go so far to get their own way in the organization? We condemn the use of violence and strongly condemn the killings of ANC leaders, including the ANC Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, Regional Secretary in Northwest. Comrade Uputi Chika, that is the name. We condemn the killing of other comrades in other provinces as well earlier in the year. This bad tendency is creeping in. Comrades, we must also, from upon other alien practices, such as the use of money to buy the support of ANC members. We should not allow a situation where those who have money turn members of the ANC into commodities. Comrades, the ANC should also revisit this matter of people who take the ANC to court when they are unhappy with a particular decision. Some comrades do this even before exhausting internal processes of the organization. It is totally unacceptable. All these tendencies have been creeping into the movement gradually and need to be dealt with very strongly. The National General Council in 2010 drew the line on ill discipline. It said, and I quote, "The NEC in particular and all structures in general need to act with firmness, fairness, and consistent in the enforcing Rule 25 of the ANC Constitution. There should be no confusing signals and messages from the leadership on matters of discipline," unquote, said the NGC. Acting on the mandate of the NGC and informed by the Constitution of the ANC, the leadership dealt with some cases of ill discipline, and some members were expelled and others were suspended. The lapses in organizational discipline indicate that the incoming NEC would need to prioritize political education. There is no need to wait for a formal ANC political school building before we start political education. The renewal and rebuilding also applies to the languages of the ANC and indeed to the leagues that are in partnership with the ANC. Historically, both the Youth League and the Women's League have played an important role in the life of the African National Congress. Their role remains relevant and crucial. As we move into the second phase, in which we will focus on achieving meaningful socio-economic freedom. We had stated at the NGC and restate here that the leagues are structures of the ANC which are subject to the discipline of the ANC. We acknowledge the positive role played by the leagues, the Alliance, MKMVA, and SANCO in 2009 during the national general elections and in 2011 local government elections. We scored a decisive victory in the elections due to the dedication and commitment to the campaign by the leagues and alliance partners. Comrades, President Oliver Tambo reminded us eloquently of the need for the unity of the ANC-led alliance a few years ago. He emphasized that it was, quote unquote, a living organism that has grown out of struggle. We worked together to bring about freedom, justice, and human rights during the struggle for liberation, and currently as we fight poverty, inequality, and unemployment together. We bring various strengths into the relationship. The SACP brings specific ideological input as a vanguard of the working class. The Progressive Federation, COSATU, stands solely and squarely for the interests of the workers. It is not a political party. While the ANC stands for the interests of the entire nation, irrespective of class or station in society. The relationship amongst components of the alliance needs to be handled with the greatest of care, because if we do not do so, we can polarize the alliance. Our disagreements need to be handled with the understanding that we are allies and not opponents, and that either COSATU nor the SACP are in opposition to the ANC. Thus, we reiterate that public spurts and shouting from podiums if one partner is unhappy with the other will do little to build or strengthen the alliance. Direct engagement, on the other hand, would yield results and strengthen the alliance that has a big task to do. We have the ways of handling our matters internally. And I want to make this point again, at least from the ANC point of view. Whenever we go for big kind of meetings, whether it's a national policy conference in particular, or NGC, when we discuss our policy, all the alliance partners are there. When we discuss programs, they are also there. So what we implement in government is a collective understanding of all of us. If there is a view that there is something we're not implementing correctly, we therefore have to come back and discuss it, rather than to look like we are joining the opposition. Conference will deliberate on various organizational renewal proposals, including the proposed declaration of the decade of the cadre, These recommendations are designed to strengthen the position of the ANC as a disciplined force of the left with a bias towards the poor and the working class, and also as a leader of society. I hope the conference will definitely take a very sober decision about the fact that this should be the year of a cadre. We are no longer fighting to liberate ourselves, where we had a very specific cadre who understood the task, who was prepared to die. We are now running government. We need a cadre who has that understanding. How to run government and succeed, how to change the quality of lives of our people. That cadre must be informed by the political understanding. Very important. So that the guidance is clear. It's not informed by any other interest. It's informed by the interest to govern this country properly. You need a cadre who is politically clear. Because if you are not politically clear, you might think that to be part of government is an opportunity to enrich yourself. And yet that's not the issue. It will also include the recommendations on how we should fight corruption and promote ethics and integrity within the ANC as well, instead of leaving action against corruption to government alone. We mustn't leave this action. We mustn't look away. We see that our cadre and government is said to be corrupt. We say, well, government fix it, and it belongs to our branches. I think we must have a role to play. Of course, conference will discuss that. We look forward to fruitful discussions on organizational renewal in the commissions where these matters will be gone into. Comrades and friends, the ANC-led alliance needs to revisit its understanding of the balance of forces currently in light of occurrences such as the tragedy of Marikana, where 40 people died violently. The Marikana Judicial Commission of Inquiry, led by Judge Ian Fallam, will assist us to establish the circumstances around the painful incident. We once again extend our deepest condolences to the families of all who died in Marikana. At the time, the ANC met with the CEOs of the mining companies to discuss the living conditions of workers on the mines. That discussion continues. Government convened a presidential high-level dialogue on the economy to deal with the various socio-economic challenges in the mining towns. At a political level, the Marikana tragedy exposed the organizational challenges we face both at the workplace and in the communities. Strong shop floor organization and strong ANC and the SACP plus Sanko in and around Marikana would have identified and anticipated the challenges facing the workers and acted accordingly. The fact that we did not, it means we are not present there. That is an indictment I'm bringing forward.